running for a minute or two, turned a couple screws, running great. But yeah, pretty happy with that. Yep, time to move on. So we're moving on to the brakes. I took this one apart. The adjuster fell out of it. So something was up there, but this pad is kind of eating away. This one probably had a lot of brake fluid in it. This one here also probably had a lot of brake fluid in it because I'm not seeing a axle leak, but I am seeing pads that are pretty glazed over, and all of the rotors look about like this. So I would say if you really want these brakes to work properly, and this one here looks like it has an actual axle leak. Yeah, it needs a new axle seal. So that one's glazed over. That's probably the nicest looking of the drums because of the axle leak. This one's all nasty looking. So I think we're gonna end up getting new pads for this thing, or new shoes. But one of the drums has a busted stud. This is one of the front drums. So I'm gonna see if I can press this sucker out. There it goes. Okay. Oh, maybe not. There it goes. Okay. So we busted into these brakes and realized that we need shoes in here. So that's the next thing I'm going to do. But on top of that, this one over here, you can see how greasy it is. Well, maybe you can't see, but the drum was filled with grease, so this axle seal is leaking. So that takes us another step deeper into the truck where we got to pull the differential cover off and pull the C-clip out so we can get the axle out, replace the seal, replace the brakes, put it all back together, new fluid in there. You know, just you get deeper and deeper. So I guess that should be the first thing I do. I should get under there and get that fluid out of there, get that C-clip out, get the axle out, get the blah-bitty-blah-bitty-blah. Here we go. So I guess it's not a C-clip axle, not that I can see. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the bolts for the backing plate or whatever, and down here, and hopefully the axle slides out. There it goes. That was a bit of a struggle. There's our old seal. Yikes. Alright, one of the secrets when you're putting seals in is you want to, especially if it's one like this, it's got this open groove and you can see the spring there. When pounding it in, you can lose that spring on accident and come flying out of there. So what you do is you pack the back side of it with grease. and that helps keep that spring in there so you don't lose it while you're trying to pound this seal in. Got our seal driver. Let's see if I can swing a hammer with my right hand, because I am left-handed. This axle out of the way. Perfect. All right, let's just put this axle back in so we can be done with this part of the build. Now that that axle seal is installed, we're gonna clean up this rear differential cover. Right now, I just want to get the bulk of the grease and stuff out of here, and then we're gonna wire wheel around the edges here, clean that up. Yikes! Wire wheel. Fitting stuff everywhere. Look at that. This truck needs a... Shut up, wire wheel. This truck needs a serious cleaning. Jeez. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and shoot the outside of the cover. Just give it a little bit of fresh black paint. Let that dry and get it back installed after we clean the other side. Alright, so these brakes are just giving me hell. The back's a little bit funky, but the front, all the hardware is just mangled and basically just doesn't work anymore. So we got a hardware kit coming for the front. That's not going to be here till tomorrow. So now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and replace this piece of fuel line here. And put a filter in there to direct it back down to towards the tank. So we'll get that taken care of, and then we'll move on to probably getting the tank itself back in. So that's new fuel line from the pump to the hard line. From the pump to the carb is all hard line. So everything's been cleaned out. Now we need to go, I need to find some 5/8 hose so I can hook the vent back up on the tank, because the tank's got this big vent here and the line was just as crusty as it could be, just crumbling, and it comes all the way up and comes up into this doohickey right here and then goes back down. I don't know, you know, but it'd be nice if it was hooked up like it was supposed to be in the factory, so that's what we're going to try and do. And then we'll get the tank back in there and then get the fuel line hooked up, and we'll get something done, hopefully. Here's our gas tank. Here's our sending unit. Oh yeah, it feels keyed in there. So then you start this guy here. Then you just hammer this little ring around. Here we go. Okay. So now it's time for the tank to go back in. And put this fuel hose on here. Oh yeah, that is a solid fit there. So this big vent hose just gotta go up this way, go through there. Alright. So I got this loosened all the way up. Let's see if we can get it in there. Good morning, everybody. It is Memorial Day, actually. So I want to try and get this truck done before my wife goes to work. I got probably like an hour and a half till she goes to work. So I've got these. There's one radiator hose that I can just slip on, but there's the one on the bottom I still haven't gotten off. So I need to work on getting that hose clamp off, getting the hose off, get that finished. If I can get those hoses on there and get it filled up, that'd be a good, that'd get us closer to being done. And then all that's left after that is the brakes. New hardware for the front brakes. We'll get all this back together. We got to bleed it. I don't know if that's going to happen today, though. That'd be nice if it did. But let's start with the hoses. Let's get these hoses replaced. I'll come back at you if I can get that hose clamp off. I got those hoses in. Got some fluid in this thing. There's the new top hose. Got the radiator full. Let's see if this thing will start. Let's give it full choke. Give it a couple of pumps. That's about half choke. We'll make sure this thing's full of fluid and we'll come back at you. Alright, it's done. Got my neighbor to come over here and help me bleed the brakes. Everything seems to be working. I'll take you guys for a little drive here. Take this thing for a cruise. Ugh. Let's go ahead and clip you to the sun visor. That seems to be the best spot. Tighten you up there. Okay. Let's see if this thing will start. Okay. First. There it is. she goes. All right, that's it for the Econoline. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.